We live in hard times, frightening times. Huge forces sweep the globe. Poverty, disease, political struggle, natural and environmental disaster, war, and great movements of people across borders in search of better lives. These forces threaten and imprison people all around the world. They also impact our lives, we the more fortunate ones. They discourage and frighten us. They can paralyze us, imprison us too. What can we do? The problems are so huge, the numbers so big, millions, billions. Maybe the secret to ending the paralysis, to becoming free, is not in the big numbers, the millions and billions. Maybe the secret is in the small numbers. Maybe it's in the ones. On a mountain in the small country of Honduras sits a small group of buildings where live 40 people. Just 40 special ones. Not huge numbers, not millions or billions, just ones. This is the story of that place and those ones. Over several months in 1997, Central Ohio minister Russ Crabtree met with a group of people from his church. What distinguished this group was their felt need, their call to do something to make a difference in the world. Out of those meetings came a plan.
And so they said, we need to get more engaged in the world, but we don't want to just send money. We want to get engaged in a way where we can personally do something.
Russ was charged with the task of finding a place in the world where this group and those that would follow them could make a real difference. A series of what you might call inspired accidents led Russ to Honduras. Honduras is a desperately poor nation. Half of its people live on $1 a day or less, and nearly 3/4 of Honduran children live in conditions of extreme poverty. Honduras also has close to the highest rate of HIV infection in Central America. The people that Russ encountered there, the victims of poverty in this awful disease, were quite literally living under a death sentence.
It was one of those moments where you're like, I have to either walk away and pretend I never saw this, or I have to try to do something about it.
More of these inspired accidents brought Russ to a group of abandoned buildings on top of a small mountain not far from the city of Tegucigalpa. It was here that the plans and dreams of Russ and his supporters began to become real.
A group of, again, people going down from the Rotary, from the Ohio State Highway Patrol, from Catholic churches, from Protestant churches, just people of all kinds from different walks of life, young and old, becoming involved in renovating these buildings. In our early days, our vision for the project was it was a hospice center. So we thought, if we can give them nutrition, if we can give them clean water, if we can treat their opportunistic diseases, if we can love them and pray for them and help them have, in whatever days they have, an experience of life that people want to have. Know that their lives count. And then, in the process of dying, if we can provide the kind of palliative care that they can die a death with as much comfort as we can give them. I mean, that was really the vision, to be able to do that.
This is Kevin. Today is his 13th birthday. He is now, in most respects, a normal teenager, with all that implies. Kevin was Montaña de Luz's first child. He came to us HIV positive at age 3, brought by his dying mom. At first, he hoarded food, hiding it in his bedroom. He had never been able to believe that there would be enough for tomorrow. As he grew used to Montaña de Luz and came to trust in the care and love that the place gives so abundantly, he thrived. becoming a happy, lovable, and active kid. But that didn't have to be. Kevin was also our first child to exhibit symptoms of AIDS. Hospice care seemed to be the best option for him.
The World Health Organization began to make available antiretrovirals that were distributed through the government. So it was at that point that we began to get those drugs. Kevin was one of the first to receive that, and we saw such a turnaround in his condition and in his health. So anyway, it was a hospice, and then with the antiretroviral medications, it became a home for children, and a home that has children is a home that prepares them to be adults.
Like any growing family, the most important responsibility of Montaña de Luz is preparation of our children for life. This involves preparing them to be contributing members of their own culture, as well as citizens of the increasingly connected world.
Come volunteer. You don't have to be perfect to be a volunteer. I'm sorry, I'm
From the beginning, volunteer groups have been vital to Montaña de Luz. The hundreds of people who have traveled there over the years built the place, continue to maintain and improve it, and in a very real way, continue to sustain it.
At the beginning, we had to say, we're an inclusive organization. This is an important work that we're doing for children. Our arms are wide. We want to engage people as broadly as possible, respecting your own faith traditions. But we will be inclusive. Being involved beyond this country helps you realize maybe there's some things in my life that are there, but they need to be bigger. My thinking about the world, my love for others. I think it's hard to get that without going somewhere like Honduras and getting that global perspective. People from, again, different walks of life, going down, engaging in this process, saying, that changed my life forever. You can form a relationship with one of the children and correspond with them. You can play soccer with that child. You can carry them around on your shoulders. You can have them teach you a little Spanish. Wow, where else can you have that kind of engagement?
Mis sueños. Sueño para ver mañana. Un mundo llena de belleza. My dreams. I dream to see tomorrow. A world full of beauty. A world without poor children and those who are unable to be educated. I dream that the poor get better, and the streets are paved, and the rooftops protect people from floods and winds. I dream to see tomorrow a world full of beauty, where there is enough food for all, and people walk freely. I dream that relationships are good, that women have rights and aren't abused by men, nor are ideas of real beauty unfulfilled. I dream to see tomorrow, a world full of beauty, where people don't steal and that generosity is love. I dream of becoming a singer and actress, and of helping people in need. I dream of singing and dancing and teaching the world my talents. Y enseñar al mundo mis talentos.
So maybe it's not the big numbers, the millions and the billions. Maybe it is the ones. And maybe, just maybe, we can be the ones too. Maybe we can fight back the fear, break free of the paralysis. And maybe in so doing, we ones serving these ones, maybe we can be part of something with real purpose, really important and lasting, something really noble and true, something really, really big.
I think that's one of the core purposes of life, is to come to the conclusion that something is bringing you somewhere for a purpose. If yours is Montagne de Luz, don't miss it. If you miss it, then you'll miss one of the most important experiences of your life.